Right, so we have our ciders for the big night in.
We sure do, and tonight we are having a Reuben. Now I've actually had one of those, street food, Covent Garden, and it was amazing. So Jamie Spafford and Ben Ebrell, you better up your game.
This better be good.
Staying in is the new going out, but only if you've got great food and your mates with you. Unfortunately, we don't have any other friends, but the food is incredible. In each of these episodes, two of us cook up something awesome to share and to kickstart our big night in.
I'm gonna give you my Reuben and you're gonna love it.
I can't wait for it.
Oh, that is a good sandwich.
What you have in front of you, a Reuben sandwich on rye bread with purple slaw.
Wow.
I've got to be honest with you. I'm so glad you've appreciated that sandwich because it's taken 4 days to make it.
We kid you not.
How 4 days?
We need to start with the beef. You need to salt the beef. To salt your beef, first of all, rewind 3 days and then start.
It does take a while, a minimum of 2 days, up to a week, in a brine. To make the brine, place coarse sea salt into 2 litres of water and then add brown sugar and your spices, peppercorns, bay leaves, ground coriander, cloves and ground ginger. Heat the whole thing up until it all dissolves and then cool it right down again.
That definitely sounded like Ben was a 65-year-old man trying to go for a week.
Not fair. Oh, and Jay, you know I said ground coriander?
Yep.
I meant coriander seeds.
Brilliant. Autumn, winter, spring, summer. What would you call them?
Quarters of the year, or seasons.
Seasons, which is why Lauren wants to know, what are the best things to use to season your food?
Right, tenuous, I see. Well, obviously, salt, we've put an awful lot in here.
Pepper.
Pepper, we've also put peppercorns in.
Yep.
Sugar, you can season things with.
Oh.
Also citrus. So a squeeze of lemon juice or lime can help to really season something.
Because I suppose I don't really know the difference between season your food and flavour the food. You're adding seasoning, you're adding flavour.
Yes, seasoning I find is about balance and adding things to bring out other flavours. So you can add sugar to bring out other flavours. Oh. If you add sugar into vanilla and cream, it tastes much more vanilla-y than actually just vanilla and cream. With the brine made and cooled, the next step is to actually salt the beef.
Okay.
So grab yourself some brisket. We've got a kilo here.
Love brisket.
Brisket is amazing. It needs to be slow cooked, but it is a relatively cheap part of a cow, from the front end of the cow, under the chuck, above the shank. It goes into our brine and needs to make sure it is completely submerged and kept in a cool place, a fridge or an outhouse.
What? Who has an outhouse?
Well, not everyone can get a huge vat of salt in.
Yes, so instead they're going to buy an outhouse.
See, why you haven't noticed it the last few days?
Toilet from Victorian times.
Yes, an outhouse.
I mean, if I was a lumberjack and lived in the middle of a forest with no one around, the outhouse that I would use to go to the bath.
That one.
Or the one just left of the kitchen that I left this in to keep it nice and cool for the last 3 days where it's salted.
You have an outhouse?
Do I have an outhouse?
I think that's a utility room.
No, you take it to the stable boys' quarters.
After 3 days of brining, your beef should be colder and harder than Ben's soul, and now is the right time to cook it. So we're going to take a carrot, a leek, an onion, roughly chop them with some garlic and bay leaves, chuck them into a pan and boil your beef for 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, very gently, just a simmer.
It's like a little boil.
It's like a little boil.
Like a spot.
I'm going to explore the other flavours within this Reuben.
Of which there are multiple.
Explore.
Well, I can see a gherkin.
There is a gherkin.
I can see some. That is like sauerkraut.
It is just like
sauerkraut.
Is it sauerkraut? No! The talents on the taste buds. Talents in the tongue. The taste bud. Sauerkraut is really good, especially with like this type of meat, isn't it?
It is. And there is a sauce.
The thing with the Reuben sandwich is, aside from the salt beef, it needs lots of other components, and this is one of them. Russian dressing, I love it. What do you think?
I've not seen many Russians dressing, but that is a really good one.
And it's very easy to make, although it needs lots of things I'm going to try and remember. Mayonnaise, horseradish, tomato ketchup, Tabasco, Worcestershire sauce, cider vinegar, fresh chives and fresh parsley.
Missed one.
Mix it all together and it tastes amazing.
You missed one.
Stir.
Love.
Did you have any capers? Any fun times? Any belly laughs?
No capers, just the dill pickles.
Lol.
And because I know that Jamie is king of the slaw and that you were at our table, we went for this one. The pepper slaw could not be easier. All you have to do is finely slice up red cabbage, white cabbage, cut into fine julienne or grate, a carrot and 2 red apples, chop up some parsley, a squeeze of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise and season well. But the construction's the key, because once you've got all the elements, you then need to grab yourself some rye bread, slather on the Russian dressing, salt beef, plenty of it, sauerkraut, we've got the Swiss cheese that melts and oozes, we've got dill pickles in there, another lid, butter the outside with melted butter, and then cook it in the pan. So a dry pan, but the butter's on the bread, it goes crispy, it warms it through, nicely toasted, job done.
Ben's enjoyed it so much that we're not going to get any cutaways of him eating it now.
I'm reaching into my pocket,
Oh no.
pulling out
Oh,
a question.
A phone. A phone.
And the question is, from Eugenia, if you could create your own cocktail, what would you put in it and what would you call it?
Sorry for adhering to the stereotype. I would go for a Guinness-based cocktail because I don't feel like there's one already. Now, Guinness and black is already a good combination, so surely stick a little bit of Guinness in there with some blackcurrant liqueur of some sort.
And you only need one more ingredient to actually make it a cocktail.
Yeah, so I only need 3.
ingredients.
Now, if I add some sort of cream, if I were to add Baileys,
Sticking with the Irish.
I would call that and after that reaction, I'm going to call it the Thirsty Horse.
I would say whiskey, spiced rum, ginger,
Ale or beer?
ale, and probably some orange peel. So it's kind of like an old fashioned, but I think with a twist of spiced rum
Yeah.
and a twist of ginger, what I think you're getting there is a
Like flavour of floral,
Twisty,
like...
a twisty
Yeah.
clementine.
which I'm going to call the James Curry.
Nice.
Scottish ginger with a twist.
Barry, over to you.
What is everybody raving about at the moment that you just see absolutely everywhere in all shops?
David Guetta.
Salty caramel.
Oh.
Yes.
I can't think of a drink that has salty caramel in it. So maybe combining salty caramel with something old-fashioned, like, I don't know, a martini or something. I'll have an experiment.
Okay, go on then, Benja.
Well, obviously gin, and I've had a bit of time to think about this, so I've gone just for my favourite ingredients. Gin, I like it a little bit tart, a little bit sour. It's almost like a gin, so it's like fruity, rhubarb, maybe cloudy apple and some thyme. So it's like fruity, savoury, kick of gin, over ice, maybe over slushy, I don't know.
And it's called
A rhubarb grumble.
That's the one. I'm glad you're here.
A rhubarb grumble?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Our next night in, we should just make our own drinks and...
yeah, nice.
Hey, I've got a question.
Okay.
No.
Is there any more of this left?
Salt beef? Yeah, we cooked the kilo.
Bones!